most of the time when we are vectoring something, we use the alder wood that you can buy from the company here. And typically what I do is just start with a blank screen, grab your geometric shapes there, and size it to the board size that you use. And a lot of this stuff you guys know, it's pretty basic, but if you guys have any questions, let me know. As you're making the shape, if you hit F2, is a really great shortcut. You can put the exact size in. So we want to go 12 inches wide by 4.5 high. And we have various sizes of the alder wood available. That'll give you a black box. So what we're going to want to do is go to the laser colors down here. We'll change it to red. We don't want it to be filled in, and that'll just leave a dotted box. And then if we click right here, that turns it into a vector shape, which basically means it's just going to follow the contour. But we're basically doing this just to see the parameters of what we're working with. Should have done this to start with, but we'll add a second layer. We'll go back to layer 1, cut that, and paste it on layer 2. So that when we're actually engraving what we're doing, layer 2 is not going to be affected at all. Nothing's going to happen with this box. When you go back to layer 1, you can go ahead and grab the geometric shapes again. If you want to do an oval or a square, whatever you want to do. A lot of times I'll go into our clip art gallery, and in the contour there's a lot of great shapes that you can use. We use this one quite a bit. And when you pull it up, you see the whole thing is black in here, and obviously we want to change that. So I'm going to change it to red again. If I'm going too fast, you can slow me down because I don't do this teaching thing a lot.
Is this on the website too?
Yeah, actually Joe has a video on Vector. So anyway, so I made this all red so we can see where all the outlines are. So what I'm going to do is grab the image, ungroup it. I'll take the middle one, hold Control, and click on the inside one. So that groups these two together. Click this button to group it. And then I'm going to change that color to black, which is a raster mode. And that's going to give you a really nice border around it. I should back up a little bit and tell you what the difference is between raster and vectoring. The raster is basically what you use when you're personalizing a pen and knife, where the machine goes back and forth, and it just puts dots wherever it needs to hit. The vector mode will follow the outline. So the red, currently right here, is set to vector. Any of these that are checked are going to be a vector, and it's going to follow the contour. And that's how we're going to cut out the item. The black here is just going to leave a border on the inside. Let me pull up one of my files I had here. If you were in Joe's class this morning, I'm sure you learned all about using logos and stuff like that. So that's something great you can use it for is to put it on a name tag like this or whatever you're making. I'll pull this up.
Don't you think?
So I'm going to grab this logo here, P. Graham Dunn logo. And I'm basically recreating my name tag here. And you can obviously resize it, put it wherever you want. Add your text. And you're good to go. Now, if we go to the marking page, obviously you want autofocus. Set your Z drop so that your vector tray is not going to interfere. And when you're starting on a new page like this, the default is 300 dpi. Oftentimes we'll go to 600, which is going to give you a little bit more detailed mark. It's going to take longer, and depending on what you're using, you can play around with that too. You want to click on this for the wood preset, and then for the black, we'll go 100 speed and maybe 50% power. And then for the red, which is our vector cutting, we'll go 100%. Sorry, it was 100% power, 50% speed. For the red, we'll do 100% power, 20 speed, and we'll do 2 passes. That's a pretty good basis for the alder wood. If you're using like the gold material, one pass at like 30 speed is plenty to cut that out. Again, we can see here that the red is set to vector, and really that's basically all there is to it. So go ahead and hit run. The machine should pick it up pretty soon, and that's what it's going to do.
So what was that you just pushed?
That's spooker down. That's
Spooler, that's to see where the file is, and it looks like the file's stuck in there because they changed. Oh, there it is. It just took a little while to go through. Every once in a while, when you are lasering, there's a file gets stuck or whatever. If you click on the spooler, you can see all the files in there and the status on them. I don't think I'm actually going to run this because you guys aren't really interested. The nice thing with setting up your with your preset shapes, you can go ahead and take this, copy it, move it over, and you know exactly how much room you have if you're doing multiple items.
Oh my gosh.
For me, I always like to know what my parameters are. So if you can figure that out by measuring the plaque you're doing, by measuring the alder wood or whatever, you can do that. Another way to, if you're doing a bunch of them, no, never mind. This version of the software does not have it, so we'll skip that session. Does anybody have any questions on this as far as the laser colors? You guys understand the difference between raster and vectoring, and also on the marking page?
You sort of went over that kind of fast. Could you kind
Yes.
of go over it again?
Yes, absolutely. Okay. We'll just start from scratch again.
Yeah, start at the beginning.
See, Joe does this all the time. He goes slow. I'm not a teacher, really. So,
And can you put like a balloon on it or something? Put so we can see, like if you wanted, and where you put P-gram down, that we could
Yep.
put a balloon or something.
yes.
Okay. Or flower.
All right.
Yeah, anything.
We'll put whatever you want on
Some
there.
clip art that's.
Say, if you go back to the very beginning where you take away the shape.
Yes.
Yeah, you lost.
Okay.
Yeah.
Sounds good. We'll go through that again.
Start all
This
over.
is round 2. I know. I went too fast for him.
We're in here to
Second.
learn. Don't assume we know anything.
You're not all making cabooses yet?
We're behind the boat. We are the cabooses.
Alex, get ready. We're all going to be in line after.
All right, we'll start over again. Grab the shape, and this is a little bit more complicated. Let's start real simple.
Yes.
Start back
Yeah.
with layer 1.
Yeah.
Good idea.
Oh, thank you.
We're starting on a brand new page.
I mean, to me, I've been doing it for a while, so it's not intimidating. Just
Okay.
do it and it'll come.
Yes,
But you need to understand why you need 2 layers.
that's
Okay.
right. Okay, we'll create the second layer again. And again, yes, there's a question.
Well, I guess prevailing question is on vectoring, is the actual medium, like the depth of the vector cut.
Mm-hmm.
How do you know, like, are you supposed to be, when you're setting this up, how do you know whether you're going for a 1/4 inch or an 1/8 inch piece of material? How do you set that? How do you know?
It depends so much on, yeah, it's trial and error basically, because it depends so much on the material. But like I said, on the alder wood, if you set it at 100% power, 20% speed, and do 2 passes, that should cut through it. Now if you find your machine's not burning quite that deep, slow it down a little bit. Go to 15% speed. The slower you make it, the deeper it's going to cut. So.
Okay, that was
Yes.
a really big.
And even on other things, if you're engraving a pocket knife or a pen, when you slow that down, that beam lingers on it longer, and it cuts it deeper, it burns it deeper. So,
How did you create the second layer?
second layer is right here. See this plus and minus?
Okay.
You can make as many layers as you want, and you'll find when you look at our files that come to you for the standard products, they all have layer 2. And layer 2 is basically just the outline of the item. If it's on a separate layer, you're never going to have to worry about that accidentally getting lasered, unless you move it to layer 1. Or if you want,
Layer 1 is the only one that will laser.
no, actually the layer that you're on is the only one that's going to laser. So if